What's going on, guys? We are back today with another segment of the best of and worst of the first half of 2024 when it comes to movies. There are these five movies that make the worst of the first half of 2024 are movies that were hyped up. They were consistently being shown as a trailer in theater. And the big thing was they drew a lot of attention when it came to the online trailers and how they were going to do. Now, these movies are in no particular order. However, these are five movies that, one, failed to live up to the hype. Two, I actually became bored, I would say, within the film. And three, they are movies that I would not recommend going and seeing, or by now, all of these films have reached video, whether that's DVD or online stream. But these are movies that I would stay away from. Number five, we'll kind of start least. Actually, we'll do this. The number one worst movie of the year, in my opinion, is Imaginary. Imaginary is a story built on a teddy bear, and there's a little girl, and the teddy bear is encouraging her to do these things that would, allow her to become friends with him, but also allow her to really, I guess, see what he is capable of. These things include collecting things, but also harming things. Now, what we learn in the movie is that there was a teddy bear that was her stepmom's, and she was living the same type of thing. Now, the one thing I will say, and what I've learned with the Regal Unlimited plan and going to as many movies as possible, is that if a movie is rated PG-13 and is considered scary, the movie is not going to be good. This movie, I was so bored during this movie because you see a dialogue of a stepmom and an older daughter who don't really get along, and then you mix that with a teddy bear and a little girl trying to do what the teddy bear wants her to do. They enter this little make-believe land, and at one point I thought the movie had finally ended. And so I was ready to get out. However, the movie continued, and there was another maybe 5 to 8 minutes. I don't remember how long exactly. And then there's a different ending to the film where the mom and the two stepdaughters are watching a house burn down. For me, this movie was absolute garbage. There was nothing that in this movie kept you entertained enough to say, wow, I want to see that movie again. The second movie on this list is a movie that is really a remake, and it was just as bad, and that is Strangers Chapter 1. You could tell right from the very beginning who the people that were going to kill the other, or kill the two, or try to, were going to be. You could tell what the situation and how it was going to go down. And what I really felt was that this movie was made very on a cheap budget, and it didn't give us as a viewer what we wanted to see. So we're hoping that there's going to be action. We're hoping that we're going to see a slasher type movie, and we did not see that. And that is a problem. Ultimately, we saw that this is chapter 1, the boyfriend dies, the girl lives. We now know that there will be probably a second part to it. However, I will see part 2 to see if there's anything different. But chapter 1 is atrocious. And that it is a movie that I don't bash movies a lot. There was two people in the theater, myself and one other person. And at the end, he goes, that movie was pure garbage. And I agreed 100% because it was. The next movie on this list is The Exorcism, a more recent release. This release is a movie from Russell Crowe. He is playing really a priest in a film. So it's a film within the film. And he's playing a priest that has to do an exorcism. Now, in the film, he is playing a washed-up actor who got this role after the previous actor was killed or died. To be honest with you, I walked out of this. I walked out about halfway through the movie because my interest level dropped that quick. This is a movie that I went and seen it, was expecting it to be decent, and it did not live up to anything. It was a movie that I've already seen it pop up on Vudu when I'm looking to see if there's any new or any of the movies that were in theaters that I want to purchase. And what I realized there was it's already out. The reviews are terrible. I think it had like a 27% or 30% on Rotten Tomatoes, and that lives up to the hype. The fourth movie, I will even go out on a limb on saying this was the most confusing movie of the year, and that is Challengers. Now, I know a lot of people like Zendaya, and I think Zendaya does a good job in her movies. However, this movie, 1, was confusing, 2, it was long, and 3, I could not get over the loud music. The music in the same sound throughout the film, all it did was really distract you from what was even being said. So you're trying to listen to what the actors are saying, and it was hard. One of the actors, it plays in The Crown, and looking at him and listening to him talk, all I could think about was him playing a young Prince Charles in The Crown. So for me, I couldn't get over that. The loud music, the storytelling, the 2 hours, I think it was 2 hours and 30 minutes. It was long. I was looking at my watch. I was ready to get out. Not a good movie. Now, if you want, it's one of those movies where if people want to watch it because of Zendaya, I understand. But as far as a tennis story, the tennis story is really a distraction from the love triangle between the three. And so I feel like it could have been told a little bit different. And I wish it was not as long. There was no reason for so many flashbacks. The flashbacks are another thing that had me confused because you're jumping back to 5 years, to 12 months, to last night, to 4 days ago. And so you're trying to focus on what is being said, but you're also looking at 14 different timelines. The last movie would be The First Omen. Now, I know The First Omen is a prequel to The Omen, and the big thing with this movie was it was slated to be the scariest movie of the year. That is what the commercials said. That's what they were portraying it to be. However, that is a letdown. You see two girls becoming nuns. Obviously, there are some parts in it that kind of affect this. But really, what it was, the nun and the scary nun and the scary priest thing is overplayed. So it really showed in this that they were forcing a prequel on us. There was one scene that I would consider nasty, if you would say, if you don't like blood. But it is not a movie where I'm going, wow, I was scared to death. And that is a problem when it comes to these types of movies. Those are the 5 movies that I feel are at the bottom of my list for the first half of 2024. I made this list as I went, but one movie that I believe should be added to this. I believe it's Violent in Nature or Violent in Nature. That movie is another one. It's supposed to be a slasher movie. It's supposed to be scary, but it did not do any of that. So these are my top 5 least favorite movies of 2024 so far in the first half. These are movies that I would not watch again or even recommend people watch. I know a movie like The Challengers is a movie people will say, well, I'll watch it because of Zendaya, or it looks like a sport movie, so I'm going to watch it. That's understandable. However, for me, these are the 5 movies, 6 if you include the honorable mention, that I would not watch again. So please remember, subscribe. Like I said, we're trying to build this up. I'm going to continue providing reviews and about movies and some television. Comment below what your least favorite movie of the year so far is. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your weekend.